there is a big event happening next month, and I'm certain you will have heard of it. I think as Londoners, yes, we can sometimes seem a little bit biased, but frankly speaking, you speak to anyone in any other part of the world who loves a marathon, they will say the greatest marathon on earth is the London Marathon. And as such, we've got to celebrate it. I am really over the moon, been speaking to the team. I can confirm I'm going to be there at London Marathon at the finishing line this year again. So it'll be my third edition, which is really overwhelming for me to just celebrate and hear from all of the fantastic runners. So I'm looking forward to it. But if you are taking part, please get in touch. 0800 731 2000 is the number. It's the 46th edition of the 26.2. Let's not forget that 0.2. It's important. Mile race, which is taking place on the 26th of April. And of course, the entire city is gearing up. So I always think at this point it's important to have some professional advice. It's not only my third year reporting from Radio London, it is also my next guest. He's our resident London Marathon expert. It's great to have him back on the show. Thiruchelvam, head coach at Performance Physique. How are you, Arj?
Oh, that's a lovely introduction. Thank you very much.
Take it, mate. And I mean every single word. You know, every year it's been so wonderful having you there at the London Marathon. So I appreciate, obviously, your own runners are there, people that you're training and working with right now. Yeah. And it's been the case in the last 2 years that you and I have been at London Marathon. But also as a coach, you really get into the psyche of what it is like on the day.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, you can't help but pick up the vibe when you're down there, can you?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been at the finishing line, we've worked our way down the course and all these kind of things, and each part of that course on the day really sends a different kind of vibe and atmosphere and mission that everyone's going through. So to be there for a third year is going to be brilliant.
It is an honour and it is an absolute privilege. But also, every time I'm at London Marathon, I always feel leaving like I'm not doing enough in life. I genuinely think every marathon runner is just a superhuman.
Yeah.
To put your body through that, to be dedicated, and fundamentally, Arj, to have the discipline to train. It is beyond me. I have so much love and respect for all the runners. You get a first-hand seat at that, don't you? Because you're constantly motivating, advising, guiding your runners.
Yeah, and I think what's really, really, really important to put out there is that it is about the consistency in the build-up.
Okay.
The race day itself isn't the big thing for these individuals. You know, you've spent 4 5 hours, whatever, on the course that day. But think of the hours that you're having to put into training to make that actual day happen, make it occur. So that these individuals, it is all about consistency. It's about that discipline, like you say. And when it comes to marathon training, we're talking 12, 16, 20-week blocks of training to do this. There is inevitably going to be a big journey, a big roller coaster in order to achieve that sensation of succeeding on your race day. And during that roller coaster, you're going to have some really rubbish weeks.
Okay.
And you're going to have 1/3 of those weeks feeling like it's too easy, and then 1/3 of them feeling, this feels all right. And we're heading into this critical 4-week window now, where actually decisions really, really count.
A lot of sacrifices have been made for people to get to this point where, you know, excuse the pun, but the finishing line is in sight.
Yeah.
So for the next couple of weeks, you're going to be coming in and you're going to be giving your top advice. Yeah. 4 weeks left exactly to go now till London Marathon. What do people who are training need to be thinking about at this particular point?
Yes, so I think that the most important things, and we'll touch on all of these, is your long run. You know, for most people who are training for a marathon, they've come familiar with that term, the long run. The final really big long run is going to have happened either this weekend just gone or on the weekend coming up. So we'll dive into that. We'll talk about fueling and we'll talk about how to prepare your gear. But first of all, that long run, if you haven't actually planned out your training and thought about, right, I need to really test myself here, go for the duration, it really has to happen within the next 10 days or so. Okay. Any sooner towards the marathon, and you're going to be pushing your recovery time. It's going to be too difficult. So it doesn't mean we need to run a full marathon, not at all. Actually, we advise not doing a full marathon in training.
See, I never understand that. Why?
Because
in my head, when I do commit to things, I like to be fully prepared.
Yeah.
Right? The idea that I'm going to be partaking in something like this, in like a marathon, and not having run it, I would feel underprepared, Arj.
Yeah, but that's the trusting the process of training.
Okay.
So in your 7-day or 6-day training program each week, you're doing multiple sessions, testing out different levels of intensity and areas of your strength. And then when you combine all of those sessions together, that's what gets you through 26.2 miles. It's not just the running element on one session.
Okay.
And when it comes down to the final 10 kilometers of the marathon, it's nothing to do with running. That is just...
Really?
No, not at all. That is just nutrition and mindset. You don't look like you believe me at all, Shay.
My mind, all I'm hearing is it's the adrenaline rush of go, go, go.
Yeah. But that is going to be that final 10 kilometres, isn't it?
Yeah,
from the
and
sidelines.
it's all of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all Londoners, people from across the country, people... What I learned, especially last year, as you'll remember, I was overwhelmed with the amount of people that I met who had flown in from different parts of the world to be at the marathon.
Yeah.
And everybody's this jet is there, and they are another element, you know, all the supporters to help the runners to get to that finish line.
It's integral. I actually genuinely believe the thing that sets the London Marathon apart from every other marathon, all these majors, is our sideline support crews, basically. All of these individuals, these Londoners, these people who have flown in, make the difference. And you said there just about the visiting runners, as they call them, 18,000 of them last year. 18,000 individuals. So this year, is it going to be bigger? We've already seen the hints and
we're
gossip.
up in the ante.
Yeah.
We're up in the ante. Now, I promise you, I will not interject because there will be people listening just thinking, no, Shay, I need to get to the top tips. But before we do, I did want your perspective as somebody who's working with athletes on a daily basis, is gearing up and getting people prepped and ready for the London Marathon 2026. What have people been saying? What's your perspective on this possible idea of a 2-day London Marathon? How are you feeling about that one, Arj?
I've had that question a lot.
Surprise, surprise.
So I understand why. I think it's a great idea because it is so popular. They want to take advantage of this third boom of running.
Right.
They want as many people being able to participate in the London Marathon as possible. And obviously the amount of money that could be raised for charity is a superb idea.
Yes.
I think that is brilliant. My concern is...
I knew there was a but. I could hear it coming. What's the but?
Well. Does it take away from the prestige of the event?
No, come on. 2 days? It just means we're going to big it up even more, surely.
It will, but being able to say, I managed to run the London Marathon, because it's such a difficult thing to be able to go and run, to get the opportunity. By doubling the opportunity, does that take it away? I don't know.
No, because at the moment, for some people, not all, but for some people, it does feel so exclusive. That ballot is so hard to get into that you kind of feel like it's out of reach and you never will be able to run the London Marathon. And in actuality, perhaps, look, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here, but the other side of the coin is by having it over 2 days, more people get that chance.
Yeah. I completely agree, and I think what we're looking for is more people to be active and happy and healthy, aren't we? So, and
it does inspire the thousands in droves. It's just so infectious, this London Marathon, and you know me as someone who is not a runner. Just being there, you just feel like I want to be active. I want to do more. I want to be able to partake in any which way that I can. So, over to you now. What are the key other elements people need to be focusing with 4 weeks to go for London Marathon, Arj?
Yeah, so let's look at that long run then. So no one is going to go over 20 miles in distance. That's the most important thing here. No one train over 20 miles. You know, most of my runners will be hitting 30 to 32 kilometres in their training.
Okay.
And that's it. Unless there's a real issue with confidence, we don't want you to go any further. The last 10 kilometres of that marathon is going to be your nutrition and your fueling. From that final long run, we're going to gradually start taking down our long runs and our intensity, and we're going to start the taper as such. And we'll tell you, we'll do that live when people need to start tapering in a couple of weeks' time. But for now, focusing on that long run. The next thing is how can you use your fueling in that long run as your test day? We all know about test events and how they practice this scenario. You've just said you like to be really prepared.
Yeah.
This is your test event. You're going to do your final really long run. Maybe it's 20 miles, say, just for ease. You're going to practice the exact breakfast that you're going to have on the 26th of April, just before this long run as well.
Why is that important? Why? I mean, some people are going to be like, oh, that's interesting, because this, as much as this advice is for people who are training for London Marathon, you might be training for a half marathon. You know, you may be gearing up for a key change in your life. Why is practicing or having the breakfast that you're going to have on the day of London Marathon now important?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the process is the same no matter the event.
Okay.
Half marathons or marathons is exactly the same. So we need to understand how your body reacts to your breakfast, the distance from the start time of your breakfast to how you're then going to cope with your gastrointestinal discomfort. Basically, the worst case scenario where you have to pop off to a Portaloo during the run. So,
right. I'm so glad you said this.
That process actually builds a lot of confidence.
Okay.
Because you're going into the unknown otherwise. So you want to make sure that whatever breakfast that you feel like is erring towards the side of think what makes a child happy. Sweets,
pancakes.
Really simple sugary things.
Okay.
Beige foods. You know, we're even moving away from oats and porridge, to be quite honest, because there's too much fibre content there.
Right.
We're thinking really
it's going to make the bowels move, isn't it? Just say it how it is, Arj.
Exactly, Shay.
Okay.
We don't want that situation to occur. So low fat, low fibre, high in simple sugars. So a couple of slices of toast, jam, a banana, and say 500 ml of orange juice. But 2 to 3 hours prior to the start of the race. Okay. And that's what you need to practice before your long run.
Right. What else did you want people to think about today?
Well, then we need to take on board. You're going to be out there for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. You need to be fueling as well. So if you haven't done that yet, you need to start training your gut. This is the last opportunity. We truly need about 6 weeks to train the gut. We've got 4. We can still do it. So choose your gels, choose your energy isotonic drinks, those kind of things that you think, oh, I'll try that brand. That one works for me. And start utilising it in every single training session now. Start low, obviously. You know, take 1. Don't go whole hog and go for 3 in an hour. That's going to be disastrous. You're going to be visiting that Portaloo rather soon. But you want to start practicing that from this point onwards. Right. And that's going to increase as the weeks lead up to the marathon day itself.
Okay. I always love talking to you because I think for a lot of us, we just want to be a sponge and absorb everything that you were saying. Is there any other area that you'd like to mention for our listeners today?
Yeah, I think when it comes down to the gear that we're going to run in, this is a real oversight that most people make. You actually need to practice running in what you're going to wear on race day. Now, an awful lot of people are going to be running in a charity vest that they're representing. They should start coming out round about now. Your charity will actually contact you. But what most people do is they think, oh, I'll save that for race day.
Big no-no.
Yeah, big no-no. You don't know how it fits.
It could be like chafing. It could be uncomfortable. You might need to give it a couple of washes just to loosen the fabric.
Exactly that.
See, that I can talk about my mum. I can talk about it, so I get that. It's like when I'm trying to dress my child and I'm thinking, right, I need this to be washed through so it softens the fabric.
Exactly that. So please do that. Please choose your outfit. If it's a charity vest, make sure you're running in it a couple of times prior. And also, we know about running in our trainers. And then some people also have race day trainers, which they're told not to practice in prior to race day. Please do a short run.
So why do you recommend that then? Because that's going to be like mixed. That's conflating, messaging here of what you should be doing with your trainers.
Yeah, so the race day trainers, up until this point at least, have always been designed about being very stiff and they can go out and be worn just for the race. Okay. But they're built for elites like that. Right. Whereas a lot of people going out and wearing carbon fibre super shoes, as they call them, that'll be a totally different experience. You don't want to turn up on race day having that, this feels very strange on my feet. Do 10 kilometres in them. Do that now so you've got a bit of time to just see what it feels like to run in them. Okay. 10 kilometres isn't going to do much for your time and damaging the footwear, but it's sure going to do a lot for your confidence.
Arj, it's always a pleasure having you here. You're joining us next week, aren't you?
Absolutely.
And how can people get more details for yourself as well?
Yeah, if they head to performancephysique.co.uk or just go to performance_physique on Instagram. We're doing loads of information in preparation for the marathon, so we'll do our best to help you.
It's always great. I'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. And if you would like more details, as Arj has mentioned there, it's Performance Physique. Arj Thiruchelvam, he's our resident London Marathon expert. He'll be joining us weekly as we gear up. We're getting ready. We're gearing up with you here on Radio London for the London Marathon. And if you'd like to share your journey, get in touch. 81333, start the message with London. Big thanks to Arj. Right, time now is 2:30. Let's get an update on the roads, traffic and travel with James Worley.
Thanks, Shay. The A41 really slow at the North Circular.